What if Subnautica had multiple endings? Hey there, I'm Aki, and today we're taking a look at what it would be like if Subnautica had multiple story branches and endings you could get while playing the game. I've always loved games that have multiple endings and story branches like The Witcher, so if Subnautica had that, I would be super over the moon. I was really hoping we would get this for Below Zero, which we sadly didn't, so I decided, yeah, I'm just gonna make my own. Of course, spoilers. So I thought of some more plausible endings and some endings just for fun. So let me know what you think and some of your ideas in the comments down below. Also, if you'd like to help me get to 200,000 subscribers, which we are really close to, make sure to subscribe and share this video with your friends. Now, let's get into the first ending, which is also the most simple one. This one happens right after you crash in your life pod and the fire breaks out. If you don't extinguish it in time, you will die. And, well, roll credits. Of course, this one is just for fun, but I thought it would be really funny if it just happened to some random person in the game. They get started, they for some reason don't put out the fire, and roll credits. This would also happen if you get eaten or drowned or starved, so similar to hardcore mode, but it would just treat it as a possible ending for the game. Let's get on to the first real ending. For this one, we have to change how the Sunbeam works. Currently, if you don't listen to any of their transmissions, you can just push back the arrival time indefinitely. This, of course, is kind of bad if you want to actually finish the game in a meaningful way, so with this ending, they would always arrive at the same time, no matter if you listen to their transmission or not. So usually, this would end up with them getting shot down by the quarantine enforcement platform. But this gives you a really tight schedule, but if you manage to disable the quarantine enforcement platform before the Sunbeam arrives, they would just land and pick you up, which would also roll the credits. I'd like to see two different versions of this. One where you disable the gun in the regular way by curing yourself, and one where you find another way, maybe with some of the architect weapons in the primary containment facility. If you disable it like you would with curing yourself, there are no big changes. But if you don't cure yourself and bring a dangerous bacterium back to Earth, you would see a little post-credits scene. In this scene, you see Altera HQ or a human world infested with Kora and slowly but surely dying, withering away without any cure whatsoever. That might just be me, but I personally would really like to see some bad endings to Subnautica. Also some cutscenes, because you could make some really cool things. It doesn't even have to be a fully 3D and animated cutscene. It could be something like in The Witcher, where you just have 2D images that just move a tiny bit to visualize what they're talking about. Talking about bad endings, this is the next one. Again, we need to change something about the game for this one to work. The Kora infection. Currently, you will never die of the Kora in-game. With this ending, it would slowly but surely lower your maximum health, and once that reaches 0, you die and the game ends, if you haven't cured yourself, of course. You'd see a post-credit scene of the Sea Emperor dead, with its eggs still unhatched, and all the alien life on the planet slowly withering away. For some reason, I thought of a ton of bad endings for this one, so if you have any good ones, please make sure to let me know, because bad endings are just easier to think of if you ask me. But hey, here's another one. If you try to leave without shutting down the gun currently, it won't let you start the rocket. If you ask me, that's not very realistic. How is the rocket supposed to know there's a massive gun shooting down anything in the atmosphere? So I say, just let them launch. If you do, you will get shut down by the quarantine enforcement platform and see your rocket explode into millions of pieces before the credits roll. Psst, I got new merch, check it out. Now, let's get onto some more unlikely endings. And also some better ones. First, meeting and rescuing other survivors. Currently, whenever you arrive at a life pod, their crew is already dead. With this, you would be able to rescue them if you are fast enough, build up a massive base, and of course, escape the planet. This one is very unlikely since you need some very advanced NPCs for this, or multiplayer, but we are not talking about that. And Subnautica isn't a fan of NPCs in the first place. I mean, yes, I know they had some in Below Zero, but we're talking first game here. And last but not least, another unlikely one. The Aurora was a massive, almost capital spaceship. It had tons of equipment, vehicles, prawn suits, etc. on it. So why didn't it have any other smaller spaceships in it? Well, with this ending, it did. To get it, you have to explore the Aurora and slowly repair one of the spaceships in its hangars. And once it's complete, you can use this one to get back to Alterra space, so no need for the rocket. Of course, this would also tie into the thing, have you cured yourself? Yes, everything's fine. No? Well, you either explode if you didn't disable the gun, or if you find another way, you also infect all of humanity and they all die because of you. Fun. Of course, this is a really big stretch and unlike anything else we have in Subnautica, but I think it would be really cool regardless. And those were the few endings I've thought of. If you have any other ones, particularly positive ones, because this video had a lot of bad endings, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Huge shout out to my Aki COD leaders on YouTube and Patreon, Callum Wally, Capital Collide, Jeff the Sea Dragon, Limeade Slush, and Storm909. But for now, thank you very much for watching, I really hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye!